Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. Stakeholders condemn the brutal arrest of Dr. KAMBWILI'S family members. 81-year-old man of LUSAKA'S Cabanana compound seeks government intervention for survival. Bishop Ed CHOMBA vindicated over ALICK flyover bridge. Details coming through after this commercial.
Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444-726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
And other media news in detail. Despite government's efforts to end poverty among its citizens through various empowerment programs, most citizens continue to live below the poverty line. This is the case of an 81-year-old man of LUSAKA'S Cabanana compound, fondly known as Kwame Chola. Bernard Kangwa has told Camnet TV that he is unable to provide for his family after suffering a stroke, which paralyzed his legs, making him immobile. This has prompted Mr. Kangwa's neighbors to call on well-wishers to assist the family with financial support and food, as none of the children the family claims to have ever visited them.
He only hopes for a bright future for his family. Unfortunately, this 81-year-old man of LUSAKA'S Cabanana compound is unable to do so due to his illness and can no longer walk properly, as his legs have seen 81 years of hard work. Mr. Bernard Kangwa of Kwame Chola in Cabanana compound has been living in misery with his family after half of his family got sick in unclear circumstance. Despite his old age, Kangwa insists that if government is to help them with financial assistance, he will be able to work and provide for his family.
The only help I want is to have me treated. If I'm treated, I'm able to work. I can do any type of work. All I want is treatment, up-to-date treatment. If I'm treated, if I get better, I can survive on my own.
Mr. Kanga, who was once diagnosed with stroke, says his body is weak and is uncertain of what he and his family members are suffering from, as they do not have the financial capacity to seek medical service.
For me to have up-to-date treatment, if I'm treated, because the disease I have is disturbing my body.
His wife Margaret Kangwa, when tried to speak to, could not say anything apart from her name. Mr. Kangwa disclosed that his wife, daughter are also sick, while one of his sons is mentally ill.
And since then, I started seeing things which were not straight here. My wife got sick. My daughter was just okay, also got sick. And we have the other boy. He's mentally sick. This morning, his uncle took him to China Hospital.
He disclosed that he has 10 children altogether. However, they do not render any support. Meanwhile, concerned residents have appealed to any well-wisher for financial assistance.
We have seen him deteriorating from where he used to be to the level that he has reached. If you came today, the time we're coming in, it was these two ladies who came to birth the woman up. Walibimutowana buno bwino. Chakudya nichovuta. Chikaridwe ni general nichovutira. Pa age yafika basanga 7 kuri konse manje ni bakuru. Afu nikopeza chintu chakuti muna ngati mungapezeke muntu wakutanga tithandize. Kuthandiza kwa aba nishathandiza tonse fe pam community muno. Because we're having these problems yakuti wina wacho wapeza ko lokathuku acha kwando ponyako watu aponyerako chamene chankara chakudya.
Pamene bali na bana 10 stibaona bonse bana 10. So inchifukwa chake tagwapo ife bakuru baidima nchipwaru na komiti kuti iyangane pali aba bantu bapeze chakudya chikuru tandizo ni chakudya.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
In other news, National Democratic Congress leader CHOMBA KAMBWILI'S wife and his daughter Chanda Kawe were arrested and charged with assault and breach of peace after duo got an altercation with the police officers. This happened after police officers at the magistrate court denied them entry to the court premises where Dr. KAMBWILI went for a bail application hearing. The police brutally manhandled the duo and left KAMBWILI'S daughter almost naked. Meanwhile, Lusaka principal resident Magistrate David Simusamba has adjourned a ruling on whether National Democratic Congress leader CHOMBA KAMBWILI'S bail application is competent before him to Thursday 10 hours. This is in a matter where the NDC leader was last week sentenced to 1-year jail sentence after the court found him guilty of the offense of forgery and uttering false document and acquitted him of the offense of giving false information to a public officer.
The LUSAKA'S magistrate court was characterized with drama this morning when the wife and daughter to incarcerated National Democratic Congress leader CHOMBA KAMBWILI got arrested by the police following a fracas with the police. The tension erupted after the police prevented some family members of KAMBWILI from entering the court premises to witness his bail application hearing. This incident provoked KAMBWILI'S daughter to slap one police officer, a development that annoyed the men and women in uniform who later physically and abusively manhandled the two women into a police vehicle. One of the officers tried to stop this reporter from executing her duties by confiscating a camera.
Boss, this is company property, boss. Okay, but this is company property, boss.
Let it.
Eh? I'm registered under media.
Excuse me, sir. May I have my camera? Sir, I'm a journalist. May I have my camera? Thank you. I'm a journalist. Earlier, Magistrate David Simusamba adjourned the ruling on whether the bail application is competent before him to the 22nd of October 2020. Last week, KAMBWILI was slapped with a 1-year jail sentence after the court found him guilty of the offense of forgery and uttering false document, but acquitted him in a charge of giving false information to a public officer. The NDC leader was not before court, only his lawyers appeared. The United Party for National Development leader, Hakainde Hichilema, came to offer his solidarity to the NDC leader.
This is lawlessness in itself, to manhandle Mrs. Kambwili and the daughter, I guess. No respect for human rights, because it's a right for us to be here. It's her right to be here. This is unacceptable. She must be released forthwith. The police should be ashamed of taking her into cells. Remember, imagine the trauma that she's going through. The husband is already in prison.
Meanwhile, after the court session, another fracas rose at Kawata police station after officers manhunted Lusaka Provincial UPND chair lady for mobilization, Patricia Stumbeko, and NDC Copperbelt Vice Youth chairperson Frank Chiona, who were demanding that KAMBWILI'S wife and daughter be released.
What have I done? 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 What have I
By broadcast time, KAMBWILI'S wife had been charged with conduct likely to breach the peace while his daughter Chanda with assault. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
The Engineering Institute of Zambia has charged that both the ALICK flyover bridge and Society Park are not fit for use by members of the public. The ALICK flyover bridge was once a hot topic of discussion, with the Minister of Local Government Charles Banda going all out defending the structure. EIZ President Abel Ngandu has warned that the institute will not tolerate shoddy works done by few engineers at the expense of damaging the image of the institute. Details in the following report.
The issue of the ALICK flyover bridge, which was described as a death trap, has resurfaced, with the Engineering Institution of Zambia insisting that the facility is not fit for public use. The flyover bridge brought about dissenting views between the Minister of Local Government Charles Banda and his Permanent Secretary Bishop Eddie Chomba. In December 2019, Bishop Chomba ordered the demolition of the ALICK flyover bridge in Lusaka as it was a death trap and lacks the basic minimum standards of a bridge. But Local Government Minister Charles Banda disagreed.
I would like you to know that there has not been any engineering report suggesting that the bridge could be a death trap. I did have a meeting with my PS this morning to find out exactly what would have happened. That was his personal opinion, and that is how he looked at the issue himself. But you see, usually we have to act when we have got information from people who are technically competent to advise for or against. And now that there is no such kind of report from our engineers at local government or indeed at RDA, that statement should not really be taken as government position.
And in February this year, former EIZ President Eugene Hazele said the bridge, which was officially opened on December 3rd, 2019, was not a death trap and will be safer once the proposed safety enhancements by the Institute were put in place. Fast forward to today, the new EIZ President, Engineer Abel Ngandu, unreservedly said the bridge does not meet the technical requirement and vowed to take action against the engineers denting the image of the Institute.
That bridge, it is not something we are very proud of. And we are going to constitute a committee, by the way, to investigate that bridge. But just preliminary findings, I can tell you that bridge does not meet specifications of safety, of side distances. The roundabouts in front there and at the back, all those ones, they are not correctly positioned, and that bridge has to be redone.
And in another development, Engineer Ngandu also maintained that the Society Park building along Cairo Road remains a danger to the public.
That project now of Society House, it's no longer an APSA issue. Because a lot of people go there, they do shopping, they enter that building. If it kills people, we cannot allow that. So as EIZ now, we're going to intervene. We are not going to rely on a consultant who has been hired by NAPSA. No. We want now to appoint our own consulting firm. As you know, we are the custodian of some of the best engineering professionals in the country.
He said they will appoint an independent consultant to inspect the building at a cost that will be bared by the National Pensions Scheme Authority, NAPSA. During the same briefing, the EIZ also pledged to ensure professionalism and accountability among its members by establishing an Ethics and Integrity Committee and revise the EIZ Act and realign its constitution in order to expand its mandate. Patrick Soko, Camnet TV News, in Lusaka.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. Stakeholders condemn the brutal arrest of Dr. KAMBWILI'S family members. 81-year-old man of LUSAKA'S Kabanana compound seeks government intervention for survival. Bishop H. CHOMBA vindicated over ALICK flyover bridge. Thank you for joining me. Join us on social media, Camnet TV on Facebook, Camnet TV Africa on Instagram. Make a guest with us this evening on our main news bulletin at 19:30. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.